What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and this I want to break down is everything with Tesla, SPY, Nvidia, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. And break down what's going on with the economic calendar moving forward and some very important factors as well in the markets, what you should be watching for as time progresses. But before I quickly dabble into this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a few things. I am firstly not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo and deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15 in total. The offer ends very soon, in just about 3 weeks from now. Anyways, for the market, I just wanted to mention that with Jerome Powell's speech today, this ended up being very lackluster because Jerome Powell didn't really say anything too significant. The guy was just continuing to give very, very closed answers. He was very, very, arbitrary, if anything, and he ended up being very, very, I would say, careful with his words because he didn't want to cause anything too crazy. So Jerome Powell didn't really cause much of a move. The market just kind of chopped around, and once he finished speaking, we saw the market kind of pop a bit and end up dumping. So it didn't really cause anything too significant. Now, I just want to note this because tomorrow is going to be Wednesday. Jerome Powell is giving another speech at 10 o'clock a.m. If the guy continues to remain the same, once he's going to be like questioned again, the market might just continue to just chop around a bit unless he says something the market really likes. But as of right now, because he's refusing to really say anything too significant, the market's just been chopping a bit. So there might be more chop tomorrow at 10 o'clock a.m. Because there's not really much else coming out, then we will be talking about like CPI later on for Thursday. But I just want to give you guys a little heads up about Jerome Powell for tomorrow again. The guy is once again back and continuing to do what he has to do. Now, when it comes to the market, right now, SPY and Tesla have been, holding up very decently, but Tesla especially has been pushing and outperforming the market. Tesla pushed all the way to the resistance at 265, the exact level we called out. And our support, we have some support at 262, not to mention more support at 260. 260 is going to be our very, very key support. So these are going to be your levels to watch for. Tesla's kind of chopping back and forth between these levels. If we break past 265, I'll be looking for a big push all the way up towards like 267. And if we end up losing support at 260, we'll be looking for a dip down to our 20 EMA at 256.5. What is Tesla doing? As of right now, we're just chopping back and forth and back and forth. But there is some life in Tesla because we had this low right here, made a higher low relative to that one. So they could try to push a little bit higher. But overall, it's going to likely remain range bound. So far, so good from Tesla, though, showing lots of strength for later on. And then for SPY, excuse me, SPY is still kind of stuck within this range. We're actually hovering below our 20 EMA. It really depends if we can hold 555.8 or not. Because we're hovering below this, there's a little bit of weakness developing. So there's a risk that SPY might actually dip a little bit lower if we fail to close above 555.8. So we'll be watching that as a key level. If we do end up reclaiming it, we could try to rebound back up to 556, back up to the highs if we reclaim 555.8 to 556. Otherwise, we're just going to continue to kind of chop around, maybe dip a little bit. For the last 3 hours straight, SPY has been just kind of dipping and dipping and dipping. We will see how it goes. If we fail to really hold up above 555.8, I'll be looking for a test of 555 very soon. Just want to give you guys a heads up. A little bit of weakness is developing right here, and there's a risk of downside as long as we're below 555.8. So we'll see. But that's something else I just want to call out. Nvidia is just trending sideways. We have support around this 130 area. We have resistance around 131.5. Keep in mind, we've been stuck in this range for the past 4 hours, going back and forth and back and forth. So that's what Nvidia is going to likely continue to do. Might be retesting the 130 area and just continue to consolidate. So there's not really a whole lot else going on with Nvidia for now. But the trend on Nvidia is turning a little bit more bullish as we're making higher highs and higher lows. So tomorrow there is potential for this to push a little bit higher. Bitcoin is trying to rebound, but we need to try to break past 58,000 to turn bullish. If we were to break through this, then we'll be looking for 60,000. If we fail to do so, we'll be retracing back down to 56,000. I want to be watching a test of 58,000 just to see if we break this or not. There's most definitely potential, so we'll have to see how things go from here. For other factors, we also have the QQQ. QQQ is in the middle right now. It really depends on how we react to our hourly 20 EMA. That's 497.75. If we break through it, we're going back up to the 498s. If we reject it, we're going to be tipping back down to 496.75. And eventually lower levels like 495 are coming. But the main level is 494. If that breaks, then we're going to be looking for a bigger drop. We haven't really done that, so we're still kind of stuck within this range. So I'm seeing a little bit of a downtrend on the QQQ. It's a little bit of weakness being established right here once we touched the 500 resistance. So this could be a sign that this might start kind of dripping or dropping a little bit more. But it depends for now on our 20 EMA. Can we break past 497.75 or not? I'll be giving that a little bit more time. For Aapl is just continuing to kind of trade sideways, going back and forth and back and forth. not really much is going on with it. If we do hold above 228, I'll be looking for 230. If we lose this, we'll be dipping back down. So we're still range bound, at least for the time being. For Super Micro, we're kind of trading sideways right here. If we do dip a bit more, I'll be looking for 880 as our key support, followed by 860 or 856 below that. If we try to bounce, I'll be looking for basically this 920 area as our resistance. As of right now, we're below 900, so I think we're going to shuffle around here. I'm seeing a little bit of weakness building, so let's see if 880 holds. I think we might test 880 soon again, so I'll give that some time just to see how things perpetuate. For Coinbase was very tricky. So basically, Coinbase was trading sideways, then it pumped all the way up to about 225. We had to break this trend line to turn back to bullish. We failed to do so. We rejected, so we came back down. So it pumped and dumped. Now we're just continuing to consolidate. There is a risk of it coming down to about 218 in my opinion, but besides that, it's still a little bit stationary. Amazon's kind of struggling. We're fighting for 200 right now. We're continuing to consolidate around here. If it breaks 200, we're going to be looking for 202. If we fail to do so, 198 is coming. So we're just trading sideways around 200, so we'll just have to see how it goes. For Meta, we're also trading kind of sideways. We could be dipping a little bit lower towards 528. I'll be watching to see if that ends up being the case. We also have resistance at 535, so I'm looking for a little bit more downside for 528 is a stronger possibility. For Microsoft, we're also dipping a little bit more. We had a nice double top leg structure. We're actually continuing to fall right here. I'll be looking at 458 as key support. As of right now, with the double top, there is a risk of a little bit more downside, so I'll have to see how things go from here. For Google, we're also kind of rejecting right here. I'll be looking at 190 as key support. There's going to be a risk of this coming down a little bit lower, and we'll have to see if we bounce or not. But I do see a little bit of a risk of 190 flat coming, so we'll have to see if we bounce or not. So give that some time. GME is in a range going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. It's going to likely continue to do so between 25 and 24. There's not really much going on with the chart, guys. That's all I'm seeing for now. And then AMC, we're building some strength. We actually bounce off this, so I could see a little push later on for about 5.6. But right now, it's just shuffling for a bit, so I might shuffle first for a little bit of a push. But like I said before, it's not really a big move. It's just very, very minor. So we'll see how things go. With that being said, I want to thank you all so much for listening. The market is still holding up decently. It's not necessarily anything to be panicking about, and we'll just have to see how things go from here. We'll give SPY the time it needs. We'll give the market the time it needs and be very, very patient. I'm seeing a little bit of a drop coming to SPY, at least as of right now. It's showing some weakness after Jerome Powell's speech. Is it the end of the world? I wouldn't necessarily say so since we're still above 555, but I am seeing some risks of us dipping a little bit lower. But with that being said, we'll see how things go. Make sure you watch your levels very, very carefully and then get ready. Don't forget Jerome Powell's giving another speech tomorrow, 30 minutes after market opens. So just be prepared for that. Until then, remain calm, cool, and collected. And I will most definitely see you guys again in just about maybe like 2-3 hours from now. All right, so get ready for Powell's speech. He's not trying to say too much to shake the markets. The guy's being very, very contained. He's being very careful with his words, so it might not cause too much. But we also have CPI and PPI coming out for Thursday and Friday, not to mention big bank earnings on Friday. So we'll see how things go. All right, see you guys very soon in a few hours, and peace out.